How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Daddy Dave, and this is a map update for a mod map here on Farming Simulator 25 for all platforms called Farmlands. And currently there is a history of a new save game being required. Please take note where you started your save game in comparison to the changelogs available. If your current save game is prior to the changelogs that requires a new save game, then do not update your save file unless you're willing to potentially break your current save. This is for changelog 1.0.1.0, and it reads, a new save game is required for this update. Train export sell points has been completely redone, and the belt system and auger are no longer needed. The plant menu in-game has been fixed, and US and EU plants have been added. Some golden apple collectibles have been repositioned so they can be picked up. Some of them were unattainable. Borders between farmlands have been repainted to resemble a more natural landscape. Sawmill farmland is now available for purchase separate from the sawmill itself. Deco items cannot be sold or removed. The blue fertilizer overlay on farmland number 1 was visible on the in-game map and has been removed as no fields are on farmland number 1. And that's it. Now, before we get into, going through each one of these one by one, there's something badly wrong with this map. Something happened, I'm not sure what. I don't know if you noticed, but there's no background noise whatsoever from the in-game. So I've only ever experienced this where the noise kind of caps, the audio volume caps out when dealing with an issue with the fiat that's in base game. But the moment I load into this map, it automatically just caps out and maxes out the in-game volume, and that's it. There's no sound, there's no nothing. So that's just a word of warning that if you come on here, you might not have any audio. That's definitely going to need to be addressed in a future update. It's going to be my guess, but let's go ahead and make our way through the changelog here. It says a new save game is required for this update. Train export sell point has been completely redone, and the belt system and auger are no longer needed. Well, if we take a look at the map, go all the way up here and visit, this is the new setup here for the train station. So before, this stuff was already just like this, where you could just kind of load onto the platforms and you're good to go. But these specifically, you don't need the belts to actually load into the sell point, which is up there. It's now down here on the floor, which that's kind of cool. I like that. Next one is the plant menu in-game has been fixed and the US and EU plants have been added. Well, we take a look at the buy menu, specifically down here under the this tab here. We scroll over to the right to plants. Before, plants was completely empty. For some reason, this was an issue, but now it is here. We're able to get all these different plants. That's fantastic. Next one is some golden apple collectibles have been repositioned so they can be picked up. Some of them were unattainable. It doesn't specify which one, so nothing to show there. Borders between farmlands have been repainted to resemble a more natural landscape. So this one, if we pan out while in this kind of third-person mode, you can see these lines that run all throughout the map. You can see it here. You can see it here. These are like the delineation between the borders of each of the farmlands. But when you were close in, you could see really badly that delineation between each of the farmlands, and it really kind of took things out and like took you out of the realm of the simulation kind of thing. But now that I pan in, look at that. That looks far more natural. I mean, yeah, you got all these bushes and stuff that are going to be able to be here, but I mean, long and short of it is that I can look at bushes. Me personally, I can look at these bushes and that's fine to kind of know that there's a border there, but you can also delete the bushes too. If you own the land, you can delete the bushes and then it looks 100% natural. I'm fine with this. This is a totally big win here. Next one is Sawmill farmland is now available for purchase separate from the sawmill itself. Deco items cannot be sold or removed. So if we take a look at the farmland over here, number 98, 235,000 to purchase, and do that. And you can see we now own it. We own the farmland, but we don't own the actual production point. That is still, purchasable over here for $325,000. But you'll notice that if I click on this, it's a little chunk right here missing. Buy this now. It's still missing. So I think it's like this little like box right in here. So it's one of those that I was curious if that little box was going to get filled in after purchasing. It doesn't, but oh well, not a big deal. But now you're able to kind of plop around more deco, and you're able to do with this whole sawmill area is what you will. Next one's the blue fertilizer overlay on Farmland number 1 was visible on the in-game map and has been removed as no fields are on Farmland number 1. So what I believe it was being stated is that here on Farmland number 1, that if you were on the, let's see, not that, on this menu here, and you had fertilized turned on, you would be able to see like blue in this cell that would actually indicate that there's fertilized fields here, but there's no fields to have been fertilized, so it just didn't make any sense. But that's it. That is everything here for changelog 1.0.1.0 here on Farmlands. Again, before I sign out, remember, please note, there's some kind of audio issue. It might be localized just to me. If you're not having that issue, amazing. But if you are, that's something that's going to need to be addressed. So be wary before moving forward with this update. You might not have any audio. So all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this update. And if you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things. The algorithms enjoy you doing. This shows you're enjoying this channel and enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Take care.